Okay, so as Steve said, my name is Ilana. Hi. Hello. So I am the founder of a digital agency called Green Arrow Digital, but I think we're a little bit different to most of the digital agencies out there. It's a bit loud. We only do what's called pay-per-click marketing. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, cool. Pay-per-click marketing. So if you don't know what pay-per-click marketing is, it's paying for traffic to your website. So think Google ads, Facebook ads, all that kind of stuff. So we don't do SEO, we don't do web design. Sorry, I'm mucking around with this thing. So we're very, very specialised. We're quite boutique. So we've kind of gone the analogy of 1 inch wide and 1 mile deep with this kind of work. So I very much live and breathe this stuff. So I buy a lot of traffic for business owners. And listening to everyone go around the room with their biggest wins and hearing all about your businesses really made me realise, I wonder if the people in the room here are actually using the online PPC tools that you could, because you could really, really grow your business. And hopefully some of the case studies we go through today will start you thinking about how you can apply it to your business, because that's what I want you to think, is like, how can I can show you case studies, but what you want to think is how you're going to use it in your business. This thing is weird. Yeah, anyway, we'll see how I go. So aside from my agency, I also teach business owners how to do it. I run full-day workshops. So actually the challenge for me today is what to leave out in what to teach you. So I could probably talk for a week about all this kind of stuff. So hopefully I've just cherry-picked some of the good stuff and you can go away and have a think about how you can use it in your business. So can I get a show of hands for who has done any kind of Google ads, let's say? Wow, not many. Facebook ads? Cool, okay, we're talking about Facebook today, so that's good. Can I get another show of hands of who found that it did work for their business? Okay, so a lot of people who it didn't work for. All right, hopefully today I will give you some ideas of why it might not have worked, because there's a lot of reasons why it might not work. It's kind of got to be done correctly, okay? Also, if you want to ask me a question, feel free to just put your hand up, and I'd love for this to be interactive, and by all means interrupt me and ask me whatever question you want. Okay, so why would you run Facebook ads? Why are Facebook ads so good? There's a number of reasons. The first main reason is the targeting. Your ability to get in front of your target customer is second to none on Facebook. You can micro-target your with various audiences. So the targeting, I feel, is far superior to advertising on Google. So the targeting, number one. So if I had $1 for every time someone said to me, I'm in B2B, Facebook ads doesn't work for my business, I would say, well, there's 2 billion active users on Facebook. Chances are your end user is there. The question is how you identify them, be it the targeting, and B, what you put in front of them. So I'm an ad manager. This is from my Facebook newsfeed. This is Google and Bing advertising on Facebook. To me, that's good targeting. I'm an ad manager. You notice the irony here that they're advertising on Facebook. The second reason Facebook ads are so good is the viral nature of ads. The mere fact that someone can share your ad. To be honest, it still astounds me that people share ads, but they do all the time. And that's your challenge as a business owner, to write your ad in such a way that it's engaging and compelling enough that someone will hit that share button, because you don't pay for that. The people who share your ads, their network, you don't pay for. So that is always my goal when I view an ad and I write an ad, is how share-worthy is this ad? That's what you have to think about. I'm a big believer in what's called like holistic marketing or holistic pay-per-click marketing. If you're doing Google ads and they're going really well, it makes absolute sense for you to have some kind of online Facebook presence. So you can leverage both platforms together, because we live in a multi-device and multi-platform world now. People seamlessly go from seeing something in their Facebook newsfeed to then Google searching something, to checking them out on YouTube, etc. So you have to think in terms of your customer journey and get in front of them at the various points in their journey. And the fourth reason Facebook ads are so good is the Facebook algorithm. This algorithm, which, I don't know, is like a black box in the back end of Facebook, but is what is really going to enable you to grow and scale your ads. It is second to none, and this is really through the use of what's called Facebook lookalike audiences. Hands up if you've heard of lookalike audiences. Yeah, they're amazing. So Facebook have 2,000 data points on each person, which is insane. So you can upload your audience to Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, here's a list of either everyone who's come to my website or my database. Go away and find me people who are similar to these people, but new people. And they do that through the algorithm. So that is another reason why Facebook ads are so good. But you need to know how to do it right. So I talk to business owners and I train business owners all the time, and by far and away, the number one thing that they struggle with is overwhelm. It is actually very overwhelming. There's a lot of information out there about how to do Facebook ads and all the latest things and messenger bots and all this kind of stuff. But what I do find is actually a lot of the fundamentals still work today. There's also a lot of confusion. And of course, everyone has a budget. Of course, everyone does. No one's going to spend $50,000 a month on ads in their first month. So you need to learn how to use whatever budget you do have very, very wisely and build on it that way. Plus, it is constantly changing. But as I said, the fundamentals are still very much the same. So I've learned from running my agency for 6 years now, I've learned a few things. And I've learned that, as I said, you don't have to use all the bells and whistles in the Facebook ad platform. You can just cherry pick what is working and only focus on that. And that's often what we do for clients. We just focus on the fundamentals and apply those fundamentals. You don't have to spend a lot of money. In fact, I recommend people who they've never done any kind of advertising to start with a very small budget and test it that way. And the spray and pray, like I call, approach doesn't really work. You need a strategy. And this is actually what I really want to talk about today is what's your strategy? Because this is the part that I think lots of people struggle with is how am I going to move people along my sales funnel? What's my plan? Rather than just go, hey, buy my stuff. So the plan for today, I'm going to go through 3 classic money-wasting mistakes and hopefully how you can avoid making them. Proven Facebook ad strategies. So hopefully the strategies that we still do every day will make you think about how you can apply it to your business. 4 easy steps to profitable ads, and then if we have time, I've got a bit of a worksheet, we can kind of go and do some audience research because the targeting is a really, really big component to success on Facebook. Does that sound good? Okay, some classic mistakes. All right, I say this all the time. People that say, a business owner comes to me, they spent a whole bunch of money on ads and they don't have this pixel installed on their website. It's such a wasted opportunity. You need to install this Facebook pixel on your website. It's like Google Analytics code. Facebook give it to you in the back end of their ad platform, and you need to install this code on your website. And I would urge you, if you don't have this pixel on your website now, to do so. Even if you have no intention of running ads for 3 to 6 months, install this pixel now so that when you are ready to advertise, you've accumulated all this data, okay? Good question. Stay tuned for a couple of slides, I'll show you. So firstly, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the pixel, what is the pixel? It's basically this bit of code, as I said, that is given to you in your Facebook ad manager that you install on your website. It has 3 functions. The first function, it enables you to do remarketing. Hands up if you know what remarketing is. Okay, for those of you who don't know, It's the ability to show ads to people who've come to your website before. So say you come to my website, you make the terrible decision of leaving without doing anything. Then you're reading your article on the Sydney Morning Herald tomorrow and you see my ad for the mere fact that yesterday you were on my website. So think of it like a second bite of the cherry. The ability to continue the conversation with your past website visitors. So if you don't have this Facebook pixel on your website, you can't do remarketing. And let me tell you, remarketing is the lowest hanging fruit available. The pixel also enables you to track the effectiveness of your ads. So you know what is working, but equally important, you know what is not working. That's where this transparency in terms of money that you're spending and the return comes from installing this pixel. And it will enable you to scale your ads from growth through lookalike audiences. So when you log into your Facebook Ad Manager account, you click on that top left corner and navigate to Pixels, and that will give you your Facebook pixel for your ad account. Each ad account has one pixel. Okay? And you take that bit of code and you install it on your website. How do you know if your pixel is installed correctly? If you go to that pixel section, you will hopefully see activity, which is tracking the people, users who are coming to your site. No. It will just track users regardless of if you're doing paid ads. Okay? So remember I said remarketing was the lowest hanging fruit? I had a client come to me that wanted to purchase leads for, their ceiling was $60. It's an online membership and they had a high lifetime value. So we implemented a remarketing campaign, so merely showing ads to the people who've come to their website before, and we were able to acquire leads for $1.40. That is how good remarketing is. It is super, super cheap. There is one problem with remarketing, which you show all the ads to everyone in your audience pretty quickly. But that's fine. Then you have a strategy to build out your remarketing list even more. Okay? So, a lead. This was, for this particular case study, it was for a free video course. They signed up. Yeah, they signed up. So 11,000 people were reached and they had 215 extra leads that they would have otherwise missed out on had they not done remarketing. Yeah? So my job was to get leads for less than $60 and we managed to get them for $1.40 purely by doing remarketing. Yeah? If this pixel wasn't installed, we wouldn't have been able to get these cheap leads. I'm going to show my age here a little bit, but remember the days of tape recorders when you had to press record to record something? The pixel is kind of like that. By installing the pixel on your website now, you're effectively pressing record on your website to access your past visitors. If you don't install the code, you haven't pressed record. That's kind of the simplest way to explain it. So to your question, how do you know if the pixel is installed on your website? There is a little nifty Chrome add-on, which is free, called the Facebook Pixel Helper. And then you install that, and you can go to your website, and you can see where that arrow is pointing. That little Chrome add-on is blue. If the pixel is not installed on your website, that will be grey. So often when I talk to clients or prospects and I say, well, you don't have your pixel installed on your website, and they say, how do you know that? It's it's not that hard. So please install the code. If there's one thing you learn from today, it's this, then this is a good day. The mistake number 2 I see people make is they don't set up conversion tracking. If you don't know what conversion tracking is, this is the ability for you to track if it's working or it's not working. So if we didn't set up conversion tracking, we wouldn't know that we were buying leads for $1.40. We need that transparency so we know if it's profitable or not. So the question I have for you in your business is, what is success in your business? And obviously it might be a sale, a purchase of something, but you might have other forms of success. Some classic ones might be someone filling in a contact form, so as submitting an inquiry, or even subscribing to your newsletter, kind of like they're half putting up their hand of, yes, I want to hear from this person a bit more, okay? And we often track multiple different types of conversion tracking. And when conversion tracking is actually set up, it's very clear if your ad account is profitable or not. You know exactly where you're driving to. So you need to set up conversion tracking for all the stages in your funnel, all your different ways that you build your database and accumulate people into your ecosystem. So here's a screenshot from one of our ad accounts. We are tracking multiple different types of ways that they contact this particular client. And once again, we have the transparency of what we're acquiring per lead. Mistake number 3 that people make is they group multiple interests together in the one ad set. So say I'm trying to remember some of the businesses people have. Maybe just someone shout out what your business is. What niche are you in? Skin clinic. Okay. So say I've got a skin clinic business and I'm trying to target people to get to my skin clinic. I might want to target people who are into... I don't do much skincare, so it's a bad one. What's it called? Gyms. Target people who like gyms. You might target people who like L'Occitane. Is that one of them? One of the skin creams? No. Makeup products, etc. So the mistake that people make is they get all their interest targeting that they do a deep dive on, and they put them all in the one group together, and they're going to say, I'm going to show them one ad. The problem is that about 20% of all your interests groups that you've got are going to yield about 80% of your results. But if you group them all together, you don't know which of the 20% are yielding the 80% of results. So you need to set it out very, very granularly so you have that transparency. Okay, hands up if you heard of the concept, obviously, of a sales funnel. Awesome. Okay. This is a mistake I see people make, is that they don't use a sales funnel online. If I walk into a skin clinic, and as soon as I walk through that door, you say to me, do you want to buy this? I'm going to say, whoa, I want to look around first. I want to try some of the tester products. I'm not ready to buy. It's the same online. You need to warm people up online. It's exactly the same experience offline as it is online. Okay, so have a think about how you can warm people up online to move them along your sales funnel. So obviously top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel is where the sales happen. One classic sales funnel might be, I offer someone a free guide. Of the people who register for the free guide, they are the only people that I make an offer to. And obviously a portion of the people that I make an offer to will end up buying. I don't offer everyone my special offer, only the people who've half put up their hand saying, yes, I'm interested in the free guide. Facebook is fantastic for generating top of funnel offers. That's the mistake that people make, is they just go straight for the bottom of funnel offer, straight to buy my skincare. Well, no, I don't know who you are. I'm not quite ready to buy. So have a think for your businesses. What's a really good way? What's a fantastic top of funnel offer for your business? As I said when I started, one of the biggest questions I get asked is, I'm in B2B. Surely Facebook ads won't work for my business. So yes, I don't go to Facebook to buy new brake pads for my car. Right? But would I be interested in reading an article about the warning signs that I need new brake pads? Yeah, I would be interested in that. I've got young children. That's concerning for me. I don't know anything about cars. Then at the end of that article, would I be interested in booking for a free assessment? Yeah, I would. So my article is my top of funnel offer. Even if I don't get a lead, I'm just getting people to be aware of the problem. So have a think for your business. How are you going to warm people up and move them along the funnel? I'm happy to brainstorm some ideas if people want. But it's actually at the middle and the bottom of the funnel is actually where you will get your return on investment. And I like to use the concept of a remarketing road. Moving people along from point A to point B to point C. And that should be a letter B. So just noticed that. So the point A is your cold audiences. The C, which should the B, is the warm audiences, and the real C is the hot audiences, okay? So that's your sales funnel. Okay, so to give you some examples to kind of get your brain ticking over about how you can apply it for your business, I'm going to give you some proven strategies that we do all the time. Okay, so there's kind of two different types of promotions we do on Facebook. We do like one-off things which have a deadline that end, and we do evergreen, that things that are constantly just promoted ongoing, okay? So classic one-off promotions is an offer which has an end date. It expires. It's a classic sales technique to have an offer that expires to get people to move, and it works very, very well. So here is a business, they run children's music classes, you know, like your baby sits on your lap and the mum's in the room. It's a 2-for-1 trial class, only 15 places available, and the offer ends on this date. It works very, very well. We send them to a page and they register for it. As you can see, people are liking it, people are tagging their friends, hey, let's do this together. You know, they're sharing the ad, it's fantastic, it works very well. For our targeting, we're very specific in our targeting and we structure it very intentionally. We'll have one ad set pointing, targeting people who like Baby Centre, which is a very big website. Bellamy's Organic Formula. People who are parents of kids of certain ages, and remarketing. And then we have the transparency to see which of the targeting is working very well. Events are fantastic on Facebook because people like to go to events with other people. No one likes to go to events on their own when they don't know anyone. So here is for the Australian Psychoanalytic Society, it's a psychology institution, and they're holding a lecture. It's a paid lecture, and so we target people who like their fan page, the friends of the people who like their fan page, because psychologists are friends with other psychologists. It's a bit of a fraternity. We upload the database. We all know email open rates are not 100%, so we upload the database to show them an ad, as well as remarketing, and you can see lots of shares, comments, and likes. Say that again. Mm-hmm. The remarketing is the people who go to the event page. Or you can also do that. You can remarket to the people who comment by what's called a Facebook engagement audience. So they've engaged with your post in whatever way, by liking it, tagging a friend or whatever. And even if they didn't click off Facebook and go to the website, you can still retarget to them. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Email address and phone number. Pretty much everyone uses Facebook on their phone. So going back about 3 years ago, you used to only able to upload email addresses, but then let's say you had a database of 10,000 people. The email address that you have might not match the login for their Facebook account, so the match rate was sometimes like 50%. So then Facebook introduced mobile phone numbers as a matching mechanism, and that massively increased the match rate. So I urge everyone to upload your database to Facebook for the mere fact that when you email people an offer, first of all, email open rates are not 100%. We all know that. And even if they do open it, let's say it's a fantastic offer. I'm not going to forward that email to all my contacts. That's going to take me too long. But if I see it in my Facebook newsfeed, I might hit that share button. And we do this all the time. Actually, a bit of an advanced tactic is we will show it intentionally to the database first to get that engagement and then stop it. Does that make sense? After the email, but before we're going out to cold audiences. Because you can imagine an ad which has all this amazing social proof on it, it looks vastly different to an ad that's like a ghost town. So we intentionally show ads to people who are more likely to engage in it, sprinkle it with some social love, and then go out cold with it. Yep. GDPR. I'm not a lawyer. Let's just get this out of the way. No. Any more questions? Facebook love it, they do. Yes? Look, I mean, that's all you've got, you know. If it's great if you can get a mobile phone number, because then your match rate will dramatically increase. But if you can't, you can't. There was another question. Yep. Yes. Yes. No, you point it to exactly the same ad. So another ad set, but pointing to that same ad ID. Does that make sense? So I run workshops. I did, of course, Facebook ads to my workshop. I show, and my workshops, they're not cheap. So I'm not going to really go out cold, because unless someone knows me, they're not going to come to my workshop. So I only show it to my remarketing audiences, my database, and the people who like my page. And it's not a lot of money. That's the thing. So in answering the question before, why show ads to your database? For the very reason that you can get that social proof really, really quickly for like $10 a day, nothing. Okay, some evergreen stuff we've done. First of all, there are a million ways to slice and dice this. I've just given you some examples, but there are infinite variations of this. So this is merely just to give you ideas of how you can think of it for your business. So one classic example is we show a free case study video. People love videos. Get them to opt in for a video. Of the people that register for watching the case study video, we're trying to get them into an in-person event, which is free. And obviously at that in-person event is where this particular client was selling their membership. So we run a whole bunch of different ads to get people to register for this case study video. We're a data company. We are split testing ads, creative and ad copy, but they're set both those ads are going to exactly the same page. More ad variations. The people who do register for the case study but don't register for the event, we can give them a little prompt and say, hey, well done. You're well on your way. You make sure you book in for the event. And what's interesting is people tag their friends to come to this. Those people didn't register for the free case study, which is the whole point of it. That's what's so amazing about this. Another strategy might be to register for a free webinar. And on the webinar, you might be trying to sell a membership. So here's for some Forex company in the UK. We were running ads. The people who went to the landing page and did not register, we remind them to register. And then on that webinar is where the selling happens. We're doing another one at the moment, actually, a free challenge, a 21-day challenge, which are actually, people love challenges on Facebook. Of the people that register for the challenge, we're trying to get them into a webinar, and on the webinar is where they sell their membership. So here is a screenshot of the challenge. As you can see, people love it. 355 comments, 931 shares. Yep. Yep. One of my clients sell bricks. Sorry, this blurring thing. Incredibly boring, right? Bricks. So you have to think laterally, I find. So anyone who's buying bricks means they're renovating. Anyone who's renovating is restyling their home. So our top of funnel offer is a free colour style guide, because they're restyling and then they will ultimately be interested in purchasing some of the building products. Yeah? So what's your business? Okay. A classic thing for e-commerce I find is like either a free plus shipping, or, buy one and your second one's 50% off, some kind of special offer to kind of get people over the line. I find also for e-commerce, if you can get a testimonial video, that's a great way of kind of getting people into your ecosystem. Video ads on Facebook are really good in that if people watch a portion of that video, you can create a remarketing audience of the people who've watched a portion of that video, irrespective of if they've gone to your website before. Again, yeah? You've got to do some competitive research. See what your competitors do. What you want to see is what their offer is. What's their top of funnel offer? Okay? So then the people who register for the challenge then see ads for the webinar. We're doing Instagram and Facebook, and we're getting onto the webinar. Some permutations of this, so remarketing to sell a product. You might find you just do remarketing, like starting out. Don't even try and go out cold for top of funnel offers. Just convert the people who are coming to your website and checking out your product pages. Remarketing to people, watch some free training. There's lots of ways to slice and dice this. Okay, and to go out cold, you might run, just promote content, as I said, with the brake pads, right? The whole point of it is just to build your remarketing list with then intention to show them an offer for the brake pads. And the mistake that I see people make is that they only show ads to generate that remarketing list. Once someone's come to their website or even registered for the challenge, they never show them an ad again. You definitely want to show them an ad throughout the entire funnel. And hopefully by showing you those screenshots of people sharing and commenting on the bottom of funnel offer, it's just a no-brainer. Okay, so if you're thinking about what you're going to show people, I think of it always, I'm a bit of a visual person like this. It's a bit of a grid. Along the x-axis, we've got easy to consume versus hard to consume. And on the top, we've got high desire and low desire. So in the top right quadrant, we've got things that lead to high conversions. Top left is high quality leads. Bottom are low conversions and low quality. So to give you some examples. Something that's easy to consume but low desire, in my opinion, is a white paper. I don't know, I don't have time to read 80 pages of a white paper personally. It's easy to consume in that it's easy to read, but it's not that desirable. Something that's hard to consume and not very desirable would be a sales call. Personally, I don't want to get on the phone when someone's going to have to selling to me on the phone. High desire, hard to consume would be like a webinar or a video course. It takes a lot of time. I just realised there's a typo. Like a webinar or a video course. Like I need to sit down and watch a video and devote that time to it. So I'm going to get high quality leads, but I'm not going to get that many. Versus something that's easy to consume and very, very desirable would be a checklist or a case study. It's quick. Ideally, you want something that people consume in 2 to 3 minutes. And ideally, as well, can give them a result. I'm a big believer in the big picture, and success with Facebook ad hinges on your ability to show people the right message at the right time to the right person. So think about where your customer is in their journey, identifying that person, showing them the right thing at the right time. And then it's really simple. You're identifying someone, you're showing them an ad for something, and then you're sending them somewhere. So how you do your audience research, we're going to get to later on today. What you show them is your offer, obviously, and then you have to hopefully send them somewhere which is really visual and engaging. Okay, so the 4 easy steps to profitable Facebook ads. Before you start any ads, you need to set up the proper tracking. So you need to install the pixel. Now that you know what the pixel is, you need to set up conversion tracking, and you need to create some remarketing lists. You do this before you spend a dime on any ads. Then you need to do some proper audience research. Facebook is identity-based marketing. It's targeting people based on specific identity aspects of them. So you might target people based on their gender, their age bracket, where they're physically located, their job title, etc. But I find the real success with Facebook ads is when I think laterally, away from the obvious aspects like this. Because who I am as a person, I'm lots of things. I'm interested in lots of things. So yes, I'm a female in a certain age bracket and I live in a certain location, but I listen to podcasts, and the podcast that I listen to says something to a business owner about me and what I'm potentially interested in. If I read certain magazines, it means if I read Home Beautiful magazine, going back to my bricks client, that says that I'm interested in home styling and perhaps I'm looking at redecorating my home. That says something to that potential business about where I'm at in my life at the moment. If I like cooking and Jamie Oliver, I might be interested in the food boxes because I'm passionate about health and cooking, etc., etc. So you need to be a bit of a detective here. You need to do some real analysis as to exactly who is your target customer and what are the other aspects that people that make up this particular person that would deem them interested in your business. And Facebook help you with this, which is very nice of them, through a tool called Audience Insights. Hands up anyone who's heard of the Audience Insights tool. Okay, a few of you. So this is a tool which is really cool, which you can put into Facebook. So say my business is in the weight loss niche. Where the arrow is, you can see it says I put in Weight Watchers. And Facebook is telling me of the people who like Weight Watchers, what else do they like? They like the health and wellness Facebook page called 77 Recipes. Never heard of it. That could be interesting. The magazine, it's a magazine as well, apparently. Food and beverages, etc. By all means, do not use every one of these targeting things that they suggest. You cherry pick, okay? So think about who is your target customer. The wrong answer would be everyone. Pick one kind of customer avatar and cherry pick from the suggestions that Facebook give you here. And if we have time, I'm happy to do a bit of a live demo if someone wants to tell me what their business is. And it's a process of kind of putting in one of the obvious ones, seeing what else comes up, putting that in as well, seeing what else Facebook spits out. It is actually a time-consuming process, but a necessary one because this is the targeting that you're going to use to show people your ad. Okay, so spend the time here. It's really, really worth it. And once again, you have to set up proper account structure. Remember I said that not putting all the interests together in the one ad set. We have one interest per ad set, one placement per ad set, and even one ad per ad set. It's very, very, very granular. So this is our bricks client, and you can see that we're targeting all these different interests. So we're targeting people who are interested in home improvement, renovation, Caroma, which is the bathroom brand, Coco Republic, Miele, etc. Right? So if we put all these interest groups together in one group, we would see down the bottom that we got 715 leads at a cost per lead of $5. Right? That sounds fine. But the problem is that there's some of these interests here which are really expensive. And by setting it out this way, we can see The second one from the bottom, Melee, we were getting leads for $24, way above our $5 average, because averages lie, right? Cocoa Republic was $23. So by setting it out this way, we know exactly which interest groups are expensive and which ones are cheap. So we turn Melee and Cocoa Republic off because they're too expensive. Sorry, not profitable. It's very unemotional. Yep. Sure. I mean, lots of people say, oh, you need a minimum audience size of 1 million people to target on Facebook. Not true at all. We do micro audiences all the time and they work very well. Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah, so like say
Melee, yep.
so what they converted from that, say there was less reach. Like obviously conversion rates they're based on what you think you convert from it. How do you work out sort of the cost from it?
Yeah.
The cost is only like $23, but you make $6,000.
Sure, then it depends this is a top of funnel offer, okay? So this is not a sale, this is a lead. This is just a lead, right? But it's to illustrate a point that there are certain interests which are way more expensive than other ones, okay? So we very quickly turned this off because the numbers were just, coming in at way too high. Let's turn it off and let's spend all the money on just actually 3 ad sets that were doing really well. And we could generate, 286 or 100 or whatever leads at actually the right cost per lead. So we're shifting the budget away from the things that are unprofitable to only do the profitable ones. Yep. Exactly the same ad. Correct. All ad sets are pointing to the one ad. Absolutely. So we never showed Cocoa Republic and Melee ads ever again. They're too expensive. And yeah, absolutely, the ones that were working well, we can show them a different ad or we can just keep showing those ones ongoing. It's just constantly generating leads at a profitable level. As soon as that cost per result column is the metric that as an agency we live and breathe by. As soon as that starts creeping up to a threshold which is not profitable for the client, we just turn it off. Yeah? Any more questions? But this is why you have to structure it properly so that you've got you've got the roadmap. You know exactly where you're going. You know if it's profitable and you know if it's unprofitable. So a page-like campaign, I don't do them at all. I find them a complete waste of money, number one. Number two, anyone who likes my ad, I can hit on the number of the people that like my ad. It brings up a box, and I can invite them to like my page. And then I get likes that way, without needing to do a page likes campaign. Plus, I don't know, What's the point of doing your page likes campaign?
What I was seeing is you're creating. Okay, I've got 11,500 followers.
Okay.
On my Facebook. I've accumulated that over 6 or 7 years. It's a basket that's forever growing and growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put up just any kind of content on there, I instantly get about 1,000 people goes to for nothing at all. But because I'm building this
Mm-hmm.
kind of big tribe of followers, so it's kind of
But then you're paying to get those people there.
yeah, but it's a gift that keeps on giving. So I might kind of spend a few bucks now on followers, and then in 6-7 years, it's still getting.
Well, I mean, Facebook organic reach is getting less and less all the time because they are a public company and they need to answer to their shareholders. So personally, I just not a believer in building an asset on that platform. Yeah, I mean, lots of people say that their organic reach is almost next to none. I mean, the fact that you can get to 1,000 people of your 11,000, I think is excellent. And I'm not saying, I mean, of course you should do that, but to run a page likes campaign as its sole objective to get likes, personally, I don't see the value in that, but that's just me. I mean, you might ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers, but I would just say, like, the thing in my head would be, how long am I going to get that engagement before Facebook forces me to have to pay for it, to show it to your fans? I mean, businesses spent millions of dollars before Facebook was a public company accumulating all these followers for that reason. And then they slowly just decline the organic reach over and over again. So,
But then if you make an ad that's kind of targets people that like your page,
mhm.
that's quite specific, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know this is quite cheap as well.
it is very cheap. And actually, we find the Friends of Fans campaign works very well. So I'm just saying that there's another way to do it through an ad where you invite the people to like your page, because you want quality, not quantity. And I'm not saying not to try and grow your page likes, but look, I mean, we're an agency, it's all about money in, money out for our clients. And so for them, they don't see the ROI there. But if you do, then that's great. But I would just say to you, I would really watch that organic reach, because I know from all our clients and with my ear to the ground in the market, it is declining year on year, every year. They're trying to, it's a pay-to-play environment. You know, I would milk it for all you've got it though, like now. Any questions? Yep. Mm-hmm. Brand awareness, I would do a different campaign objective to a page-like campaign. I would do some kind of video where you're doing like a video views objective campaign. I think you'll get far better reach than trying to get people to like your page. You can get far more content in front of people by doing a video views campaign than you could for doing a page-like campaign objective. So you get way more bang for your buck. Was there another question? Nope. Okay, writing great ads. Obviously, you need to write good copy in your ads. And this is kind of how I feel represents the Facebook newsfeed at the moment. It's like walking down Times Square. Your competition is above you and below you, and they're a thumb scroll away from scrolling past you. Okay? So you have to think, what is going to hook these people so stop them in their tracks? So you need a compelling offer. That is 80% of this, is a good offer. You need a great image, and then you need good ad copy. I think it's in this order. By far and away, if there is a good offer with not such a great image and not such great copy, it can still work because the offer is relevant and it's great for people. So often the biggest failing point for many business owners is it's an offer that people just don't want. No matter how you dress it up, it's just something that they don't want. So you need to put something in front of the right person, obviously, that it's irresistible to them, okay? And obviously then a good image and good copy. So to give you some examples, I was playing around with some ads for my own business, and I started off, needed one chill pill. And I go on a bit of a rant. Like, it's a pattern interrupt. That's the whole point of it. I'm not trying to say, hey, download my ebook. And this is long copy. And it converted very well. Story-based ads. We do story-based ads all the time, and they work incredibly well. It's a social platform. People want stories. So this, I'm sorry, I don't know your name down the front. You know, your business was dealing with disadvantaged kids or something, is that right? But yeah, I mean, that's an amazing story, and it's an amazing social enterprise. Facebook is the perfect platform for that. And you could write an amazing story about how you helped someone who was on the street and their transformation, and people will love that. And so this ad is a testimonial for some parenting. Obviously, I was shown it because I'm a parent and I can relate to this. 5 nights in a row, 5. You can read this story. I don't have to read it to you. But it's a story and it's a testimonial, and people love stories. This is for a dog training client. You can read the copy another time. So here's also, and you can see it's a very long copy, and we've tested this heavily, long copy versus short copy. Instinctively, before I tested this, I would have thought, there's no way people are going to read this. Attention spans are next to none. Who's going to bother? But actually, every time we test this, long copy wins every single time. It becomes like its own mini landing page. And then the people who do make it to the end, then they go and actually, they're sort of invested in this story. So this is an ad for a challenge. And you can see here the top 5 challenge questions. She is upfront with the objections that people might have and addressing them in her ad copy. It's very, very powerful, and I know it converted very well. Okay, so we talked about audience research. Think about all the different aspects. I've got a worksheet. I don't think we have enough time, but I can leave it with you. And I urge you to go through this worksheet to really delve deep into your target customer. So think of it like the 3 W's, the who. Who do your target customers like on Facebook? Who inspires them, and who do they listen to? Who's in their ears? That would mean that they're kind of your target customer. So for example, for someone like me, people who I listen to, like Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, or whatever. It depends if you're going after business owners, but think about who inspires them. That means that they're your target customer. So somebody who's in the space of maybe social enterprise could be that kind of person. Okay? The what. What tools do they use? What do they spend money on? And what books do they read? Okay? What do they consume? So for my business, business owners who might, let's say, use Entreport, for example. That's a tool that they use. It's an email marketing tool that will then mean that they do email marketing and they need to get leads. So it's by association. The where do they live? Where do they shop? Where do they spend money on? So the pains and frustrations. So when you write good ad copy, you have to think of the pains and frustrations of people. What's keeping them up at night? What are their goals and what do they want? So for my business, their pains and frustrations is that they waste money on bad ads. Happens all the time. I audit accounts all the time and people have a ton of wasted ad spend. That's what keeps them up at night. Their fear is that they're going to lose money. Their want is they want to make ads profitable, and their goal is to scale their business through online marketing. So use this for your business, because then you can address these pains and fears and their wants and their goals in your ad copy. Does that make sense? And that's it. Any questions? Yeah. You do need a decent size remarketing list to do that. Yeah. Often most people, their biggest issue is getting enough people on their remarketing audience. It would need to be a minimum of 100 to be eligible to show someone an ad. Facebook won't tell you unless it reaches over 1,000. It will just say less than 1,000. But if you get over 1,000, then it will tell you actually that audience size.
Have we got time for a case study? We've
Sure.
got about 10 minutes left. Do you want to do that, or just go to questions?
What kind of case study?
No idea. We won't do that then.
I'm happy to, like, if someone wants to volunteer their business and we can do some audience research together if you want.
Does anybody want to participate in that? We've got a little bit of time left. Yep. Okay, let's have a go. I'll get you to take this up with you.
Is this going to be a curveball industry?
Yeah, it's basically building design. So
Building design.
clients who basically are looking at building new homes or even potential developers looking
Okay.
at developing land.
Okay.
So I guess that's the struggle that we've tried to try and resolve over
So-
the years.
Ideal customer would be who?
Well, yeah, sure. Okay, so I guess clientele would be it ranges from probably clients who are looking at alterations and additions. So it could be third, fourth homeowners. It could be first homeowners. It could range all the way through.
So developers.
It could include developers as well.
Mhm.
It's just we've got quite a broad market that we try and sort of capture, but it's been difficult to try and get into that particular sort of market and filter it.
Okay. And you offer what exactly?
So we do architectural drawings and design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that somebody? I'm just more thinking out loud in terms of what are we going to show people rather than who we pick. That's different.
Yeah.
First, we're going to think what we're going to show people. So have you got some kind of have you got a case study that would be do you think a case study would be interesting to the right person?
I think so. One that obviously presents photos of previous work that we've done.
Before or afters?
Yeah, before or afters, yeah.
Okay. Also, perhaps like the designs?
Yep.
Kind of like granny flat kind of stuff, designs?
Yeah, granny flats or new homes.
Okay. Okay, so that's probably something that they would be interested in downloading. That,
Yep.
would you say?
Yep.
Do you have that kind of lead magnet on your website? Like, irrespective of showing ads, is that on your website that people download?
No,
Okay.
No.
Is there something on your website that people download?
just a bit of information. Yeah,
What kind of information?
just things about the business.
Okay.
The website's currently under construction now. We're getting a new
Okay.
one done, so
Okay.
it will include things like past projects that we've done, a bit
Okay.
of spill about what we do as a business, and the services that we provide.
Okay. But it's almost like you've got to anticipate what they're interested in rather than, it's not about you, it's about them.
Yeah.
So would you say that the template designs would be something that they would be interested in?
Yeah,
That's-
see, it's hard because we wouldn't actually present a template. What we're trying to do is convince them that we're the right designers to design their homes on their properties.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have templates or photos of past work, but there's nothing that they can actually that will suit them in terms of a design solution.
Okay. I was going to say something, it just slipped my mind. Does that ever happen to anyone? You're about to say something and it just vanishes. Yeah, I'm trying to think what we're going to offer these people. What's irresistible to them? What's going to be something they're going to say, "Ooh, I really want that. I've got to give my email address. I don't really want to, but it's worth it because this is so irresistible."
I think for us, a well-designed building or a house.
Okay.
Yeah, if they see that photo, then okay, well, we can see their capabilities as designers.
Okay.
And that's generally what. Then sort of that there's the first point,
Mm-hmm.
and then we find that because I've tried it on Facebook and on Instagram. It's not done right, but we find that as soon as you put a photo up, people just like it. And
Yep. Would you say also that?
What about the 7 things you need to do when considering designing your own house? So when people, when they start from scratch, what are the things, the sensible things they do? Not just the outlandish things, the sensible
Yeah.
things. Would that be a lead magnet? No? You've got to make sure there's 2 toilets. You've got to make sure the toilets.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
stuff. About the simple mistakes.
The pitfalls. What are the common pitfalls? Like the
Yeah.
Bring up their fear.
Mm.
So they need to know that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we can work on the offer. If we go to a virtual tour.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do all the 3D. Yeah, yeah. But we just find it hard to I guess, yeah, sort of, there's only sort of so much limited content that we've got at the moment, and we're obviously in the process of trying to get all that to sort of the next level. So, but we're finding that with every sort of more marketing company that we've spoken to, it's like we've spent the money and we've got no results. It's like, well, is something being done correctly?
Yep.
Because it's, there's a lot of people on Facebook that like designs, but they're not necessarily potential clients. They just like the fact that, oh, we like design, or we like architecture, but they're not actually clients or potential clients.
Yep. So you said property developers. So anyone who's, I guess, a property developer would read like market industry reports. What kind of Terry Ryder, is that some guy? Have you heard of him?
No.
He's like has anyone heard of him? He's like a he predicts where the next booms are going to be.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That kind of
Sure.
industry thing. So just to walk you through how to use this tool, we're going to type in Australia. I'm assuming you do Australia.
Yeah, it's only Australia.
Yes.
New South Wales.
We're trying to get data first, rather than, we wouldn't delve into New South Wales at this point. We're just going to do all of Australia.
Yep.
And we're going to be, would you say we're going to be really, what's it called, sexist, and is it really just men?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
no. I'll probably say half and half. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's do something very broad first, and then we're going to get into something very narrow. So let's just do people who are interested in property, real estate development. We're going to navigate to this page likes section. Okay, so it's going to give us a whole bunch of data here. So here we can see commercial real estate. That's probably good, because that's the commercial real estate section of the Sydney Morning Herald. Anyone who reads that, I would say, would be interested in developing land, because I don't read it, I love real estate. Could be good. If you're ever not sure, when you're going through this tool, if you're not sure what something is, you can click on it and it will take you to that specific Facebook page, and you can check it out and see if it's kind of relevant, because by no means should you use everything that Facebook suggests. They're just trying to get you to spend money. So we're going to have a look through here. So they've got seminars, which would be bang on. They've got 106,000 people, which means that we can target them. They're big enough, because the biggest problem is if their Facebook audience is not large enough, we wouldn't be able to target them. Okay, so they've got enough of a presence here. And what am I looking at? I'm just trying to see if it's the right kind of people. Anyway, you get the idea. Have a look through the page and see if it's what you think is right. Barefoot investor, maybe. The block. And then also you can go down here, and this tells you the people who are interested in whatever we plugged in, which was property, real estate investment, how closely related are those people to these websites. So you can see here commercial real estate is very, very strongly related by this affinity bar here. So that would be worthy of a test. Okay? Colorbond steel, Pickles, I don't know what Pickles is, maybe that's the auction. That's auctions. Could be interesting. So yeah, you get the idea. But like, this targeting part's actually the easy part. Getting something that's irresistible to the right person is the hard part. So if you ever not, so if you have you got a competitor who is
We do, yes.
Who are they? Because I'm going to show you another little nifty trick.
Probably, I'll just put Tasman Design Group.
Tasman Design Group. If I can spell. What you can do, if you ever want to know what ads your competitors are running, you go to their Facebook page. On the left-hand side here, you'll see info and ads. And they are not running ads at the moment. But if they are running ads, it would come up here. And what you're looking at here is seeing what is their offer. Okay? That's what you want to see, because honestly, offer is, I reckon, 80% the success on Facebook. Do you ever have another competitor? Another competitor? No.
It's not really competitive, it's more of a
What I would-
associate, but just probably South Coast Drafting.
Yeah, no. Bad examples, unfortunately. What I would do is I would let your audience decide. So I would install the pixel on your site.
Yep.
I would create those 2 different lead magnets that we said, with either the portfolio that they can download or the pitfalls that people can avoid, and only show it to people who come to your website. See which one they download.
Yeah.
Let them decide, because they're your target audience, not me, not you, right? See, and then they will tell you what you should go out cold with. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
All right, guys. Ilana, we done?
We're done.
We're done. All right, guys. Big round of applause for Ilana.